Back for more. I admire you. More saving Bournemouth here with me, Mr. Grand 2, 18th of January 2020. Halfway through, well, over halfway through, the January transfer window. Premier League safety looking well in the bag. Can we make a late push for Europe? Probably not, and I'd rather we didn't. Anyway, we are here. We are back. We've got our press officer here, Steve Grokert, who looks quite reminiscent of Steve Arnott from Line of Duty, it has to be said. But we have been on an excellent run of form. 8 matches without losing, and for the first time in a very long time, well, first time since September, we've won 2 league games in a row and 3 games in total with the FA Cup match against Sheffield Wednesday as well. It's been good. We're playing well. We actually scored 3 goals in a single match for the first time ever, and also won. Second time ever in total, but we lost the other one. And today, we're going to finish off the January transfer window. Probably not going to do any business in terms of incomings, but we're going to finish it off. And then we are going to hopefully get into February as well. We might not play all these games, but we'll see how far we can get. We've got Norwich coming up first of all in 3 days' time. They've also had a pretty good season. Well, I say that. They're doing better than in real life. But they are in the mix for relegation. Let's actually just have a look at this, because this is interesting in terms of sort of potential moves in the summer. Man City have 3 games in hand, but even still, they're not in conversation for the league title. It's between Liverpool and Arsenal, but probably just Liverpool at this stage. And we are kind of in contention for the final European place, but I don't think we'll necessarily get there. And I don't really want to. I don't think we're ready for that. But in terms of relegation, Brighton have recovered a bit since sacking Graham Potter. Quite a bit, actually. It's pretty close. But they are currently bottom. Leicester, of course, is FM20. So obviously, Leicester in the relegation zone. Sheffield United down there as well. Not like real life for those two. Newcastle are there as well. And Norwich. Southampton not too far away. And then Villa and Burnley not too far above them either. We are looking nice and safe at the moment, though. Could get dragged in, but probably not. We need 5 points, and we will be realistically safe as houses. So pretty good. But yeah, a lot of teams could go down, and potential signings could therefore then be made. Now, I said we wouldn't make any deals in terms of incomings. Probably that will be the case. But we have got 5 million to spend, and one of the things that's sort of a longer term aim for the club, well, for my aim for the club, whether it's the board's aim or not, is, well, 2 things. 1, to improve the facilities and youth recruitment if we can, and 2, we need to bring in some players aged 18 and under who we can get to be club trained players. If we can get them from the actual youth intake, that'll be great. But otherwise we might have to bring them in from elsewhere, because we don't. If we do make it into Europe, we don't really have many club trained players. Certainly that are really good enough. So the player I want to look at, we looked at him in the summer. We couldn't afford him. Is Aaron Hickey. Now he's withdrawn his transfer request, but I feel Hearts might be interested in talking. We're not going to give them any percentage of next sale because I don't want to, but £1 million, which is actually all we have in the bank. Let's just see what they want for this. 24.5, right, well, if nothing else, we can annoy him a bit more and try and get him to put in a transfer request. I don't imagine there's really any regens available at the moment. I don't know. We could be cheap, but let's just be cheap. Very briefly. We'll look at the... If you've never done this before, it's very cheap, and also kind of a bit massively time consuming. If you've got some hours on your hands, go on World and look at youth intake, and you will have access to the entire world's regen players. So we can see the Americans have had their youth intake, and I believe Penarol's at Uruguay. Yeah, Uruguay as well. Now these obviously I've not loaded them into the game, so they're not going to have a massive amount, but quite a few of them will be quite good. So we've got William Wright here at New York City. He looks reasonable. LA Galaxy. I'm not really sure who would necessarily have the best youth facilities in the American leagues. I guess these are kind of like drafted players in some ways, maybe. Potentially, yeah, they're like high school draft. He's at New York Red Bulls, LAFC, not bad. None of these are really sort of screaming out to me as being incredible. I mean, David Moose is an incredible name. I love it. Now, Uruguay, again, I'm not sure. I mean, Liverpool FC in Uruguay, that's got to be a save for someone. Liverpool FC, got to be, it's a fan club there. Fernando Fonseca is actually not bad from Liverpool FC. And we're signing a Liverpool regen there, maybe. We'll get him scouted. Why not? I mean, Penarol, I believe, have a decent reputation. In reality, I'm not sure how it really translates to the game. Nacional. I mean, some of these guys do look reasonable. Let's scout these two. But yeah, I'm not going to spend my whole time going through it. But let's just see if there's anyone. Right, so the Argentinians have had their youth intake too. Boca. I mean, yeah, they're not bad, are they? They're not bad. Get them scouted too. Just for just for future reference, I'm not going to go through all of these guys now because I don't want to spend the entire time doing it. But it's the thing we'll look at. It's the thing that's there. If you've not looked at it before, it's worth having a look at. It is a bit cheap. It is a little bit cheap, but you know, it's a nice thing to have as an option. If you want to just go through, you can just scout every single one. If you want your inbox to be absolutely full, there are other more effective ways of doing it. You shortlist them all and then filter by certain attributes and so on. But I think I don't like doing it too much. Unless I'm specifically signing players of a certain nationality and I want to just keep track of all of them, then yeah, it's a bit cheap. It's a bit cheap, but we'll use it sparingly. Have a quick look at certain players. Right, the board have announced that due to better than expected finances, they've increased the percentage of transfer revenue able to be retained to 75%. Well, thank you very much, board. I was about to ask you that. So the fact that you've just done it is very nice. What's our projection like? 4.5 million. Brilliant. Let's spend some. Can we improve youth recruitment? Yes. He's fine with that. Maxime Daman. Do we not have junior coaching? Oh, that's in finance. Junior coaching. He's fine with that too. Right. I'm not gonna. We can't really afford facilities improvements at the minute. But getting those two done, that is nice. So youth recruitment is now has been upgraded to average, and junior coaching is now satisfactory. Well, amazing, thrilling stuff. Not particularly good, but you know, small steps. Obviously, we only have a category 3 youth academy, which is a big issue. We already know that our youth intake is going to be bad. We've been warned, and yeah, not ideal. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Any improvements we can make, obviously, is a good thing. Philip Billing is upset because he's not playing. To be honest, he's been rubbish. So. But again, he's like Harry Arter. We just tell him that we will just sell him. He backs down. So it pays to be mean. Lewis Cook developing nicely. Obviously, we've offered him a contract. He will hopefully sign that, which will be good, very good for the financial security of our team. Aaron Hickey's been removed from the transfer from our shortlist. No thanks. We want to get him in. But anyway, yeah, so we've looked at a few things there. Not played a game yet. Norwich coming up. Norwich City. And this is probably a good opportunity to say, actually, that the main save on the channel next year will be featuring today's opponents. We will be taking charge of Norwich, of course, next year. They will be in the Championship. They've been relegated in pretty pathetic and limp fashion. Lerma and Stanislas obviously got minor injuries in the previous game, but their fitness is not good enough. I can't risk Stanislas, and it's a chance for Billing. We'll leave them on the bench because if we're in desperate need, then we're in desperate need. Everyone else stays the same. But yeah, Norwich City will be our save next year. I did say that on Twitter, I think, for the few of you that follow. And this man will be a key part of it. Adam Ida, who I mean, he's barely, he has played a few games for Norwich, but from an FM sense, for the last 2 FMs, he's been brilliant. He's been one of my favourite players. And what do they want for him? Too much money. Maybe one day. Yeah, he'll be the spearhead of our Norwich revolution. What we're going to do is not going to be a straight up normal Norwich save. We are going to have a specific transfer policy. We will have some rules. There's going to be 3 rules, as in 3 categories of players who we're allowed to sign. Plus, I'm going to say we're going to get a joker every year where we can sign someone who does not fit within those rules. I'm not going to say what the rules are at the moment, but yeah, so we're only going to be allowed to sign players that fall into one or more of 3 categories as we go close from Harry Wilson. That's going to be the rules. So it's going to be a bit more of a restrictive thing as we try and build them back up in the Championship, get them back in the Premier League, and then stabilise in the Premier League. It'd be interesting to see whether we can do it, whether how far we can get with those restrictions. But I think having those restrictions will be sensible from a financial perspective, and also just sort of keep it a bit interesting so we don't just get to a position where we have like too many players, which is kind of a bit of an issue for me. We've got a penalty. Callum Wilson on for yet another goal. He's done it. He is well and truly back, is Callum. 6th of the season, and would you believe they've all come in the last 7. Unbelievable run of goal scoring form for him. He's trying to get in Gareth Southgate's Euros squad in this alternate reality where the Euros have not been postponed by a year. He's making a late push for it, and full credit to him. 1-0 up at the break. Brilliant stuff. We've got Ryan Fraser on the pitch and we're not losing a game, which is shocking. He's on a 6.4 though, which is less shocking. Very good performance so far though, as Norwich are probably going to equalise. Yep. As soon as I said that, obviously Norwich, of course, the team who we were I don't think it was 2-0, but we were 2-1 up until injury time, and then we binned it off and drew 2-2 and we're doing the same thing here. Had the lead, thrown it away, and not looking good anymore, which is it's frustrating. But really, at this point, we're so close to being safe. Any points we get between now and the end of the season, as long as morale doesn't go through the floor, I'm not too bothered if we don't win games. Like, obviously, I want to win some games, but like, it's been such a good season that we are. I'd rather not. I don't want to do too well. I don't want to qualify for Europe by accident, because we really don't want to be doing that. We'll bring Eliasson on for Wilson, who's a bit tired. Unsurprisingly, the 2 players who are deputising for the guys who are not fit are playing terribly, but I don't really want to bring them on unless we absolutely have to. Adam Smith's not playing too well, so we'll bring on Jack Stacey, who's just a bit more. Well, Jack Stacey's a bit more pacey. Hopefully, we don't need to make any other changes. Billing pressing forwards, goes for a shot. He's trying to show he's actually worth playing, but nothing too crazy from him. Probably going to be another draw here. We could maybe go for this a bit more. Norwich are dangerous on the break. Again, not massively fussed. It's another point. I'm going to just keep the morale up. I don't want them to get too bothered about when we don't win a game. I don't want them to have too much pressure on them. We've got 36 points. We basically need a win and a draw and we will be safe. And there is 14 games left. It's going to be an almighty collapse. I think we're probably going to be fine. I'd be shocked if we weren't. Right, Southampton in a few days' time in the FA Cup fourth round, which is a nice treat for us. We're probably going to go pretty much full strength for this one because they're a tricky team. I would quite like to go through. Simon Francis getting upset that he's not playing. Your contract's up at the end of the season, Simon. You want to go permanently? Yeah, fine, whatever. Like, no one's going to want to... I don't think anyone's going to want to sign you. Are they? Realistically? If we can get someone to give me a bit of money for him, that'll be good. I doubt it. 3 bids. Well, I take it back. Wigan, Hull and Birmingham. If you want to go to one of those 2 teams, fine by me, Simon. Fine by me. We're just clearing out all the legends. He probably is actually a Bournemouth legend at this point, isn't he? Oh, not quite. Steve Fletcher, which is why we're not going to get rid of him. Eddie Howe. Eddie Howe's not a legend, apparently. Sort it out, SI. Come on. Realistically. Apparently Eddie Howe is equivalent to Matt Holland in terms of status at Bournemouth. Give me a break. Jermaine Defoe is an icon. He's not even in there, is he? He's not even in there. But no, anyway, seriously. So you're considering Jermaine Defoe, a man who had what? He had like a loan spell at Bournemouth, and then he rejoined and was terrible, is considered to be the same level of iconic status as Eddie Howe. Sort it out, SI, please. Anyway. Lewis Cook signed a new contract. Brilliant news. Brilliant news. Yes, it's a bit of a... It's not much of a pay increase, is it? £8,000 a week more. And he's tied down to... 2023. Wait, what? Did his agent put it down to 3 years or something? I'm sure it was longer. I'm sure it should be 4 years. So it's an extra year. We've got an extra year on his contract. He must have. Did I not notice that last time out? Because he's put it. I'm sure. Oh, he must have put it down to 3 years. Well, it's better than 2 years, but not what I was looking for. Obviously, missed his agent being a sneaky sod. Well, anyway, it's an extra year on his deal. Gives us a bit more security. A bit more security. But I'm not sure how long we'll necessarily be able to keep hold of him longer term. But there we are. Right, Brad Smith wants to leave. Jordan Ives injured. It's all kicking off. Brad Smith, I promised him he could leave. Okay, well, I've offered you out. No one's interested, mate. So don't come to me and say I've not kept my promise. We've had no bids for you. We've offered him out now with no wage contribution. Oh, look, there we go. No one. Here we are. Oh, it's Bournemouth icon Jermaine Defoe warning us about Danny Ings. Thanks, Jermaine. AFC Bournemouth favourite Jermaine Defoe. Let's just check this. He scored 18 in 29. So he had one loan spell. He's Bournemouth favourite. Didn't work out quite so well when he came back, did it? But anyway, he's warning us. He's also warning us about Danny Ings, who, if we check this, previously played for Bournemouth. Not particularly for much of a long time, but he is a Bournemouth Academy graduate, as we've talked about before. The only Bournemouth Academy graduate of note, Danny Ings. So thanks for the warning, but I was aware. I was already aware. Right, Southampton in the cup. 4th round. We are up for the cup. I think it's, yeah, I'm looking to go through here, if we can. Looking to go through because it would be a good bit of progress if we could make it to the next round. Svanberg developing well as well. Not a player I was anticipating using as much as we have done. But full credit to him. Kovalenko was a bit rubbish and may well be leaving in the summer. But Svanberg's come in his place and he's done very, very well for himself. Right, lots of processing. Lots of processing. This computer is much better than my old laptop, but it's still not great. Right, some scout reports come back. Fonseca, not great. Alvarez, though, he's not going to get a work permit, but highly rated. Highly rated, although he does have finishing of 7 and composure of 8, which for a striker is rubbish. We'll shortlist him, but I'm not massively bothered. Baldrick, he's got some nice attributes, but again, not really a position we really use. Gomez from Boca, he's got a lot of decent attributes for a centre-back, but he's already 19, so frankly, it's not worth it. Argentinian regens come in a lot older. Like, you get a lot of Argentinian regens who are already 19, or at least 18, which is a bit odd. Anyway, Southampton, I'm going to bring in Stanislas, and I'm going to bring in Lerma, and I'm going to go full strength for this one, because I'd quite like to go through. It's doing this weird thing again, very irritating. I'd quite like to go through. I would like a bit of a cup run. I'm not sure anyone big's been knocked out. Sheffield United have gone in a bit of a relegation clash. Chelsea have been knocked out. Oh no, they haven't. What am I talking about? I thought it was penalties. No, it's gone to a replay. I thought Bristol City had knocked them out. Not to be. Has anyone massive been knocked out? I'm sure someone's missing from the third round. Who went in the third round? Anyone really obviously big? Newcastle have gone, but they're not that big in the context of this. Brighton, Norwich. No one really big's gone. I'm not sure what I'm thinking of. But anyway, I would like to go through because you never know. Having a bit of a cup run, bit of prize money, bit more in terms of revenue, in terms of having extra games, pretty good. And we want to keep the morale up. I've said I expect them to win here. Svanberg seems confused. I mean, they're just above the relegation zone, so I would expect us to win this if it was a league game. We're going full strength for this one. They're probably going to take the lead very early on here. Højbjerg is unlucky. Very unlucky. Good work from Ramsdale, kind of. But is it unreasonable to expect to win this game? I don't think it is. Redmond drags his shot wide. I don't think this is not an unreasonable game to expect them to win. Even if it is at St Mary's. Hang on, Billing's still playing. What have I done? Ings has scored, which is great. What have I done? What did I do? Stanislas is playing, fine. I guess I just didn't put Lerma back in. Because, did I make something? There's no other stupid error in there, is there? No, good, fine. I must have just forgot. Well, obviously I did. Forgot to put Lerma back in. Well, Billing's coming off straight away because he's on a 6.4, and he's being highlighted as at fault for that goal. Although actually it was Steve Cook who has let Danny Ings race in from miles away. And we were warned by Jermaine Defoe. I think we already knew. And Danny Ings' potential future transfer targets buries the ball in the net, and we're losing. So good job we rotated the side fully, and we're not playing the first 11 again and risking injury, isn't it? It's a good job we didn't do that. Let's try and get a bit of fight back in it though. Lewis Cook, it's gone in. It's been bundled in by Callum Wilson. His 7th of the season. He cannot stop scoring now. After going without a goal for so absurdly long. Harry Wilson with the corner in. Lewis Cook unlucky against the bar, but Callum Wilson once again is there for an easy finish. Absolutely loving life now, Callum. He's playing his way into form just in time for the Euros and also the summer transfer window, where he will probably try and engineer a move to Spurs or something, which would be not particularly good. But we're back in this, level terms, looking to take the lead now. Smith to Stanislas exchanging passes, and with good ball in, not quite there. Callum Wilson not quite this time, hits the post. Back to his old ways of missing from point blank range. But I'm not going to complain too much. Kyle Walker-Peters puts it across, and Danny Ings does not miss from there. Former Bournemouth player Danny Ings, future Bournemouth player Danny Ings maybe. Svanberg tries his best. It was a good challenge. He's unlucky. He misses the second one, and Danny Ings gets his second of the game. And we're losing once more. Not great. Apparently, we should tell them that was excellent. I've gone with it. I've given in to the peer pressure there from Jason Tyndall, and I'm not sure how to feel about it. Southampton coming forwards again. They're in a relegation battle, by the way, and they are pretty much outplaying us. And now it's 3-1. And I'm just the narrative is that we're not the favourites. The narrative is that it's fine to lose this game, which I'm not sure I approve of. Speculative effort from Højbjerg, which Ramsdale fails to cover himself in glory with, really. Let's demand a bit more. I mean, I wouldn't mind this if I'd gone for a rotated team. I'm playing a full strength team here. We're being schooled by Southampton. We said last time, as Stanislas scores a great goal. Again, not great goalkeeping, but it's a powerful finish. We said last time we scored 3 goals in a match for the first time in absolutely ages. But equally, we haven't really conceded many goals in that time either. Our usual scoreline is 0-0 or 1-1. So to concede 3 goals today is a disappointment. But we're back in it again. Got another goal. Not out of this yet. Demand a bit more. Changes can, of course, still be made, but most of our bench options are quite rubbish. Nathan Ake. I mean, you have to admire the press here from Southampton. Ralph Hasenhüttl not in charge. I'm not sure who is in charge. Callum Wilson's in, though. We've levelled it up. The Wilsons combine. Whether we can get Harry Wilson again next year, I'm not sure. But I would quite like to. He's not been outstanding, but he's been pretty good. Brilliant. That's probably his best goal since the first one he scored. When he finally broke his duct against Norwich. Yeah, we're back on level terms. I don't want a replay. Would prefer to lose than have a replay. But I would prefer to win. Callum Wilson's won the ball. He's through again. Hits the post again. Second time he's hit the post. Brilliant performance from him, to be honest. Good attacking performance. Harry Wilson's a bit tired. We might bring on Eliasson. But they're all motivated. I don't want to make... I mean, you look at that bench there. Now, obviously, I could put better players on the bench. Because... we could have done that. But it's not much to bring on of any real quality. Ryan Fraser, obviously, has been extremely poor this season. I don't want to go to a replay. I don't want a replay. Wilson's going to come off for Eliasson. I don't want to bring on Ryan Fraser, but then who else would we bring on? Stacey's a little bit more attacking, I guess. He's a bit quicker, if nothing else. Probably going to be it. We've rescued it. Which is good. But it's going to go to a replay. The most goals in a game featuring us for a very long time. 3-3. We are still in the cup. But we have obviously created an extra fixture, which I'm not that happy with. When is that replay going to be? Quite close at hand. Probably later on this episode. We'll play Everton, then we'll play Southampton. In the replay, that will probably be that. Good fight to get back in it, and good performance from Wilson. So I'm not too bothered about that. That was pretty good. So obviously not ideal, really. I mean, maybe they should just get rid of FA Cup replays if, you know, both sides agree it's a bad idea. Because I don't think Southampton will want to do one either, not just us. I mean, fair enough if it was a lower league team, then they get a bit more money, but realistically, it's in neither of our interests to repeat that one. But anyway, we're at least going to be in the 5th round draw, which is going to be interesting. Maybe we will get a sort of more straightforward team. That would be quite nice, but obviously we have to get past Southampton first of all if we want to do that anyway. But we'll probably, depending on how long deadline day takes, we might have to leave that till next time. But we're definitely going to play Everton. We're out for revenge against Everton, of course. They did beat us early on in the season, a pretty epic game where we nearly came back, didn't quite manage to do it. Just accidentally clicked on the under 23s, and good to see some people developing quite nicely. Mark Travers, I don't remember him having that higher potential, but looking pretty good. He is developing quite nicely. Could become a useful player for us in the future, probably just as a backup. And then Ryan Glover, who we've mentioned before, not developing. Well, he is developing, but just nothing too crazy in terms of attributes. Doesn't look like he's probably ever going to really be that good. At least not Premier League level anyway, but who knows. Now, obviously we haven't really looked to make any form of transfer whatsoever. We have got 5 million to spend, but the wage budget, obviously, as has been the case throughout, not particularly great. We could maybe have a quick look at some kind of youngster. There's not really any sort of regens yet, of course, as we've seen. Not really any people particularly would be worth bringing in. We're still stuck on Bournemouth academy players, aren't we? So we're not even going to do this. I don't think there's any point. There's not really anyone we really would want to bring in, and obviously Aaron Hickey would cost too much money, and Hearts aren't playing ball on that one, so we'll have to leave that to the summer. Now, we've just skipped the 5th round draw because I wasn't really paying attention. Let's see who we will be playing if we get past Southampton. Our reward will be Burnley. Brilliant. So not too difficult, but then not too straightforward either. Basically, just like playing an extra Premier League game, which is we're already playing enough of those anyway. But let's see what happens on deadline day. Are we going to get any bids for anybody else? There's not really anyone else we need to get rid of. Obviously, having got rid of Josh King, that's freed up the space that we need. Actually, I just want to double check this. Did we manage to? We haven't registered David Brooks. Let's do that right now. That's the key point. I remembered that. I remembered to do it. David Brooks registered because he will be back soon from injury. Obviously, Charlie Daniels, there's no point. He's not going to be back. But Brooks will be back in a month and a half, which would be a welcome return, as he is. Obviously, he's been out for a long time, but he's such a good attacking player. And there you go, right on cue, begins the rehabilitation phase. So he should be back in a month and a bit, and we'll be pleased to have him. But yeah, I don't expect there to be any more bids, to be honest. Maybe we might get a loan bid for someone, but there's not really anyone we need to. There's no need to get rid of anybody. We obviously came in needing to ship out some players. We didn't have enough spots, but not anymore. King is gone, and then that's obviously freed up a bit of room. Andrew Sermon as well, and yeah, this is going to be quite slow. I'm going to decline taking part in it when that comes up, because we're not really needing to do anything. To be honest, I don't think I've ever really needed to do anything on deadline day. I've never really left it particularly because I always like to do my business. As you'll see when we get to the summer, I always like to do my business sort of as soon as possible, like basically May, June time, unless I'm kind of tight for cash and waiting for July 1st for free transfers and then the loan market to come open. But Simon Francis has rejected offers from Hull and Wigan, which, I mean, fair enough. Would have been nice to get a little bit of money for him, because he's probably not going to play much for the rest of the season, but it's not like it was really a massive amount of money anyway, so it's not really a big deal. Hopefully we can process through this quite quickly, play the Everton game, and then maybe play the Southampton game too. We might as well play it today as well. We'll go a little bit longer. I say that. I mean, this is taking forever to load. This is the problem. At least I'm not on my old laptop, because that would have been literally unplayable. Adam Ida wanted on loan by Milton Keynes. Dons. I mean, we want to get him in. Obviously, if we don't get him in now, we won't be able to get him in. We could get him in, because we wouldn't need to register him, because he's only 18. And it's not like we're really... Our striking options are that great. We need to put Solanke back on the bench on that topic. We forgot to do that last time. Solanke back on the bench, but yeah. I don't know whether they would want to... Oh, we can't do it, can we? We can't do it because we've already got 2 players on loan domestically. We've got Eliasson. Oh. I'm just gonna double check that. Yeah, no, we can't. I suppose we could cancel Eliasson's loan, but we do kind of need him still, so that's annoying. But in the summer, he won't become club trained, obviously, and we probably won't get him in at all. But yeah, we will see what happens. Right? It's 1:15 on deadline day. This is going extremely slowly, and is going to mean we're probably not going to play the Southampton game. We might not even be able to play the Everton game. We will definitely play the Everton game, but come on. There can't be this much to process. It must be, it's quite a warm day, so you know. Right, there we go. It's 9:45. The window has slammed shut. We've done nothing. Some big moves there, which I've just glossed over. Let's have a look. Thomas Partey has joined Liverpool. Memphis Depay has gone to Chelsea, and Wambanat has gone to Liverpool as well. Well, I mean, there we are. Confirm the selection. Charlie Daniels will never play a game for Bournemouth again. We will be releasing him at the end of the season. Probably just going to be getting rid of all the Bournemouth legends. Lloyd Kelly gets 3rd in Young Player of the Month, which I've got to say I'm a big fan of. He's done well since coming in. But can he continue that against Everton in what is going to be the final game of the episode? Because we're out for revenge. They're in 10th now. Obviously, we need to... This is definitely a game we need to win if we want to secure a top 10 finish this season. And of course, that outside chance of Europe. Stanislas' goal against Newcastle wins goal of the month. Fantastic. Well done, Junior. Really good to see that. And he's been very good since coming back. Monthly performance. We're on a B. B for Bournemouth. That's why Jeff's given it to us. And you have to say it's been very successful so far. Very, very successful so far. Right, okay, so Everton, the team is going to be the same as the team that managed to show that mental fortitude and come back and get the draw against Southampton in the Cup. No need to make any changes at all. Lloyd Kelly's playing well. Obviously, I would bring Mepham back in, but he's, of course, going to be injured for quite a long time. I say no changes. Billing hasn't been great. We can bring back in Jefferson Lerma because he is back to fitness, so we will do that. Otherwise, I'm not going to make any other changes. That is pretty much, with the exception of Cook in place of Mepham, I would say that's probably our strongest team based on how the season's gone. No one is really letting us down. Obviously, it would be nice if some players were higher ratings like Wilson and Svanberg, but overall, they've developed in some pretty good partnerships there, playing reasonably well, and obviously we're going far better than real life Bournemouth. But let's see if we can end things with another win, or will it be another draw? Because we are, of course, the draw specialists. Really, given the number of goals we've scored this season, we shouldn't be called Bournemouth, we should be called Boringmouth, because this will probably be a 0-0. Probably be a 0-0, that's usually the way. Absolutely nothing happening in the first 20 minutes or so. I don't think it's going to end 4-3 like the previous game did. That would be a massive turnaround. We can see, obviously, Watford haven't played yet. So I was going to say, we've got a nice gap to the team behind us, but we don't, because they'll probably win their game. If we finally get a highlight, the ball is literally just an Everton counter-attack straight from a corner. Alex Iwobi, I mean, that's the most exciting thing that's happened in 45 minutes of football. Adam Smith now injured, brilliant. At least we have our most competent backup player in the form of Jack Stacey, and it's a terrible goal kick from Jordan Pickford. Wilson's in, Lerma cracks it against him, and Wilson skies the rebound. That was unquestionably the most exciting thing that's happened in that entire half. I'm going to say I'm pleased, because I think we were 4-1 down at this point in the previous game, so better than that, for sure. Better than that. It's going to be another draw, isn't it? It's going to be another draw. We've got a goal difference of 6, which is actually quite close to Chelsea before us, above us even. But maybe not. Maybe not. Ramsdale makes the save. At 66 minutes, we could make a change here. As Kelly gives the ball away. Ake gets it back immediately, though, cleaning up the danger. Harry Wilson pressing on. Gets it back from Lerma. Goes for the shot, and that was another good opportunity. 2 very good chances, you have to say. Well-worked moves, but no breakthrough yet. Stanislas, we praised him before the game. He won goal of the month. He's not going to be getting another goal of the month based on his efforts today. But I really don't want to do anything too much, because I don't want to lose, as they're probably going to score here. Gomez nearly gives the ball away, but this is still probably going to be fashioned into an Everton chance. Bernard cuts inside. Ramsdale, safe hands so far. Obviously started the season in a very shaky way, but he's really developed as the year has gone on, and would you look at that, it is a draw. I'm going to praise him, though, because we did do some good stuff, and we didn't lose, and that is the most important thing. Adam Smith out for a month. Not ideal, but as we said, Jack Stacey is a more than capable backup. But there we go, 10 matches in a row undefeated, although obviously, well, that's not including the cup games, is it? 10 matches in a row undefeated. Mostly draws. Mostly draws. We are the draw kings. We are the draw kings. But you know what? As long as you get a couple of wins, it doesn't really matter. 8 wins, 13 draws. By far and away. Well, no. We're drawing in terms of draws. Southampton, our FA Cup 4th round opponents, also have 13 draws. No wonder we drew. No wonder we drew with them in the cup. It's going to go to extra time, isn't it? In the replay. We'll find out next time what happens with that one. But there we go. January's done. We're into February. It's the long trek to the end of the season. 13 league games left, plus of course the FA Cup 4th round replay, and if we get past it, who knows how far we can go in that. But probably, I don't know how long it's going to take. Probably a couple more episodes, and maybe it'll be 3, maybe it'll be 4, I don't know. And then we'll get to the summer. We'll do the first summer, make some transfers to see where we go next season. This may not last more than 2 seasons, I don't know, but we'll see. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.